A secret that launched America's greatest adventure. A ruling that redefined citizenship. A battle that proved America's resolve. What if I told you that between January 18th and January 24th, 7 ordinary days buried decisions that still echo through your life today? Could a secret $2,500 request really open a continent? And why did a simple protest by workers change how Americans think about power forever? Watch till the end because each revelation gets more shocking. And Day 7? Day 7 will make you question everything you thought you knew about American expansion. Day 1, January 18th. The secret request that opened a continent. January 18, 1803. President Thomas Jefferson sends a confidential message to Congress with a seemingly modest request. He asks for $2,500 to fund a commercial expedition to explore trade routes. But this is a lie. Well, not exactly a lie. More like strategic misdirection. Because Jefferson's real goal is far more ambitious. He wants to send an expedition all the way to the Pacific Ocean across territory that doesn't even belong to the United States. The Louisiana Purchase hasn't happened yet. France controls the vast territory west of the Mississippi. Spain claims the Pacific Northwest. Britain lurks in Canada. If Jefferson openly announces his plans to explore lands belonging to other nations, it could trigger an international crisis. So he keeps it secret. He frames it as commerce. He asks for pocket change, $2,500, barely enough to run the expedition for a few months. Congress doesn't ask too many questions. They approve the funding on February 28th. And then, in a stroke of extraordinary luck, Napoleon offers to sell the entire Louisiana territory to the United States for $15 million. Jefferson seizes the opportunity. On April 30th, just 3 months after his secret message, the Louisiana Purchase doubles the size of America. Now Jefferson's expedition isn't exploring foreign territory anymore. It's mapping American land. Meriwether Lewis and William Clark set out in 1804. They travel 8,000 miles. They document 178 plant species and 122 animal species unknown to science. They establish relations with dozens of Native American tribes. They prove that a water route across the continent is impossible, but they map overland routes that will guide millions of settlers west. That's the power of vision. Of timing, of knowing when to be bold and when to be subtle. January 18, 1803. The day Jefferson proved that the greatest journeys begin with the smallest steps and a secret. Day 2, January 19th. The decision that ended an empire. President Gerald Ford grants a full and unconditional pardon to Tokyo Rose. Her real name is Iva Taguri Dakino. She's an American citizen born in Los Angeles who got trapped in Japan when World War II began. The Japanese forced her to broadcast propaganda aimed at demoralizing American troops in the Pacific. After the war, she's convicted of treason and sentenced to 10 years in prison. But here's the truth: she was coerced. The evidence was questionable. Witnesses later recant. And she never actually betrayed her country. She subtly undermined the propaganda scripts, turned them into jokes, helped prisoners of war when she could. For 3 decades, she fights to clear her name. Journalists investigate. Veterans who heard her broadcast defend her. The case becomes a symbol of wartime hysteria, of how fear can corrupt justice. On January 19, 1977, Ford signs the pardon. It's one of his final acts as president. He'll leave office the next day. The pardon doesn't erase what happened to Iva Taguri. She lost years of her life. Her reputation was destroyed. Her citizenship was nearly stripped away. But it establishes something crucial. America can admit when it's wrong. That justice delayed is still worth pursuing. The Tokyo Rose case exposes how wartime propaganda works both ways, not just against enemies, but against our own citizens. It reveals the danger of turning complex people into simple symbols. Day 3, January 20th. The speech that launched 1,000 dreams. John F. Kennedy stands before the Capitol and delivers 16 minutes that will define a generation. Ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country. Kennedy is the youngest man ever elected president. He's charismatic, eloquent, and inheriting a dangerous world. The Cold War is escalating. Nuclear weapons threaten human civilization. The Soviet Union seems ascendant. But Kennedy's inaugural address isn't about fear. It's about possibility. He promises to pay any price, bear any burden, to defend liberty. He calls on Americans to join the Peace Corps, to serve, to sacrifice. He challenges the nation to reach for the moon literally. Within months, he'll commit America to landing a man on the moon before the decade ends. The The speech electrifies America. Young people flood into public service. Volunteers sign up for the Peace Corps. Scientists and engineers join the space program. A generation believes that America can solve any problem, overcome any obstacle, if citizens commit themselves to common purpose. But there's complexity here too. Kennedy's call to bear any burden will lead America deeper into Vietnam. His vision of American global leadership will justify interventions around the world. The idealism has consequences. Still, the speech endures. Every president since has echoed its themes. Every generation rediscovers its challenge. What are you willing to sacrifice for the common good? Kennedy himself would be assassinated less than 3 years later, but his words survived him. Day 4, January 21st. The submarine that changed naval warfare. First Lady Mamie Eisenhower stands at a shipyard in Groton, Connecticut, and smashes a bottle of champagne against a hull. The USS Nautilus slides into the water. It's not just another submarine. It's the first nuclear-powered vessel in history, and it's about to revolutionize everything we know about naval warfare. Before the Nautilus, submarines were limited. They ran on diesel engines and batteries. They had to surface regularly to recharge. They were slow underwater. They couldn't travel far. They were vulnerable. The Nautilus changes all of that. Nuclear power means it can stay submerged for months. It can travel at high speeds underwater over 20 knots. It can cross entire oceans without surfacing. It becomes nearly invisible to enemy detection. On its maiden voyage in 1955, the Nautilus sends a simple message: underway on nuclear power. Those 5 words announce a new era. In 1958, the Nautilus achieves the impossible. It travels under the Arctic ice cap, reaching the North Pole completely submerged. It proves that submarines can operate anywhere in the world's oceans, even in the most hostile environments. The submarine is decommissioned in 1980. Today it sits as a museum in Groton, Connecticut, a monument to the moment when science fiction became reality. Day 5, January 22nd. The flight that made the world smaller. January 22nd, 1970. A massive airplane lifts off from John F. Kennedy International Airport in New York, bound for London. The Boeing 747, the first jumbo jet. It carries 324 passengers, more than double the capacity of any previous commercial aircraft. It has 2 aisles, a spiral staircase to an upper deck, a lounge where passengers can socialize mid-flight. People call it the Queen of the Skies. The 747 democratizes the skies. More seats mean lower prices per passenger. More flights mean more destinations. Immigrants can visit relatives on other continents. The economic impact is massive. International tourism explodes. Global business expands. Cities build bigger airports. The 747 also becomes a symbol of American engineering and ambition. Boeing bets the entire company on this single aircraft, investing billions in development. If it fails, Boeing goes bankrupt. It doesn't fail. Airlines around the world order hundreds of 747s. The design is so successful that variations remain in production for over 50 years, longer than any other commercial aircraft in history. The 747 becomes Air Force One, carrying presidents across the globe. It becomes the workhorse of international commerce, carrying cargo when passenger travel slows. In 2023, the last 747 rolls off Boeing's production line. After 54 years and over 1,500 aircraft built, the Queen of the Skies retires. Day 6, January 23rd. The battle that proved America's resolve. January 23, 1968. North Korean patrol boats surround and capture the USS Pueblo, an American intelligence ship operating in international waters. They seize the vessel. They take 83 American sailors prisoner. They parade the crew on North Korean television, forcing them to confess to spying and violating North Korean waters. It's the first time in 160 years that an American naval vessel has been captured by a foreign power. The humiliation is complete. President Lyndon Johnson faces impossible choices. America is already fighting in Vietnam. The Cold War is at its height. Nuclear weapons make any escalation terrifying. But doing nothing makes America look weak. Johnson chooses negotiation over war. For 11 months, American diplomats meet with North Korean officials in Panmunjom. The sailors endure beatings, torture, and psychological abuse. Finally, on December 23, 1968, a deal is reached. The U.S. signs a document admitting to espionage, but before signing, American negotiators read a statement declaring the confession is false and made only to secure the sailor's release. The crew comes home, but the ship stays behind. To this day, the USS Pueblo remains in North Korea, a museum piece celebrating their propaganda victory. It also reveals something about North Korea, their willingness to provoke, to humiliate, to hold hostages for political gain. A pattern that continues to this day. January 23, 1968. The day America learned that strength isn't always about striking back. Day 7, January 24th. The computer that changed how we think. January 24, 1984. Steve Jobs walks onto a stage in Cupertino, California, and pulls a computer out of a bag. The Macintosh. It has a tiny 9-inch black and white screen, a blocky design, a synthesized voice that sounds like a toy, and it costs $2,495, nearly $7,500 in today's money. Before the Macintosh, using a computer meant memorizing cryptic commands. You had to type perfectly. One typo could crash the whole system. Computers were for programmers, engineers, specialists, not normal people. The Mac changed everything. It had a graphical user interface, windows, icons, folders that looked like actual folders. Jobs didn't invent these ideas. He stole them from Xerox. But Xerox thought they were building technology for corporations. Jobs understood he was building technology for humans. The Mac's impact wasn't immediate. Sales were modest. Software was limited. Critics called it a toy. IBM dominated the market with serious computers for serious business. But the seed was planted. Today, whether you're using a Mac, a PC, or a smartphone, you're using ideas that the Macintosh popularized. Pointing and clicking, dragging and dropping files and folders you can see. The Macintosh proved that technology should adapt to people, not the other way around. That computers could be tools for creativity, not just calculation. That design matters as much as engineering. It launched Apple's philosophy of making technology intuitive, elegant, human. The iPod, the iPhone, the iPad, they were all descendants of that computer Jobs pulled from a bag on January 24, 1984. The Mac also transformed how we work. Desktop publishing, digital art, music production, video editing. Industries that didn't exist before the Mac made these tools accessible. And it established Steve Jobs as the man who understood that the best technology disappears, that when something works perfectly, you don't think about the technology at all. You just create. 40 years later, we live in the world the Macintosh imagined. A world where computers are personal, where technology is supposed to be beautiful. January 24, 1984. The day Apple proved that the future belongs to those who make technology human. 7 days. 7 decisions that rippled through time and shaped the world you're living in right now. If you enjoyed uncovering these hidden moments in history, hit that subscribe button for next week's video. Trust me, you won't want to miss what we're revealing next. Remember, history isn't made by people who knew they were changing the world. It's made one day at a time. What will your day change?